Good, Dave.
Hey, Lofa, could you talk to us about signing with the Falcons, and then we can back into how it was sitting out last year for you?
Just excited to be here and grateful for the opportunity presented by the Falcons. It's a great organization, and thrilled that this is where I'm going to be playing ball next year.
And how tough was it sitting out last year, and could you clear up if it was the concussions or the knees or a personal decision for you?
I think it was, more of not really, anything of my choice, not on my behalf, but, I think that's kind of what happened to veterans, across the league. And, situation just didn't arise that was right for me and my family, and that kind of didn't have anything to do with injuries. I know that was out there. I don't have a Twitter page, so I couldn't, rectify it. But no, it wasn't anything to do with concussions or, lingering injuries. So I was ready to play last season. I got released, and like a lot of people did, and just, didn't catch on with anybody.
Were you ever close? I mean, did you ever have any conversations with other teams at all, or did anybody ask you for workouts?
I think the toughest part, yeah, I did, but the toughest part was that, at the time, I didn't get a call. I stayed working out through camp, and as a Mike linebacker, you kind of like to be in there to get the chemistry with the team, especially the defense. As a signal caller, it's kind of important to, get all the terminology and things like that down. And, I didn't get that call during camp, and I stayed working out, and then, all of a sudden week 3, 4 comes, and you don't hear anything, so you kind of lose hope. And, I mean, as far as you were asking, yes, it was extremely tough, because that was my first year in 23 years that I hadn't played football. So, that hurt. But a couple opportunities arose, but not, anything that, I liked, in particular.
There's a silver lining. How much better does your body feel after having a year off?
I mean, it feels amazing, extra year, just to get healed and, get right, and then mentally, I think the biggest, the strain of the game, from, and I know quarterbacks, a lot harder to play than, middle linebacker, but, we do have, a tough job out there in getting everybody, on the same page and making sure things flow. So I think the mental strain was probably what, alleviated from that. I was excited about that.
Do you have a chip on your shoulder at all because you didn't play last year, and some people are saying, well, maybe this could be near the end of the line for him. Nobody signed him last year. He's banged up, this, that, and the other.
I've always had a chip on my shoulder because they told me I didn't belong in this league in the first place. So, I'm not worried about that. You're always going to have your critics, and I mean, I always enjoy, listening to what they say, and, just, proving them wrong. But, not on a personal vendetta or anything. So, just here to play ball and as best as I possibly can.
Did you ever get to the point where you understand how a multiple Pro Bowler at 28 years old is not getting a phone call from an NFL team?
It was crazy because I had talked to a couple other guys, TJ Houshmandzadeh, Julian Peterson, just a couple other guys too. I was just like, hey, just a couple years ago we were at the Pro Bowl together, and now we're all just conversating, outside of the game. So I mean, it's a business, and I understand that. We all do, as men, we understand, tough decisions are made, and so just going forward, I was in the mind frame of hopefully something works out, last year, and had told my wife, I was like, look, I'm going to give it a shot next year and see what happens, and if not, I'll probably just hang them up. But I'm going full speed this year.
Were you scheduled to go anyplace else? Because I think the story is you came here, you stayed here, you signed a contract here, as opposed to going and seeing
they were talking pretty good here, so I didn't take any other visits, but I had a couple other visits lined up.
You had been with the Saints before, right?
I visited them, before. I didn't get to work out for them, but I visited them in Tennessee.
Did you watch last year? Did you keep track of what was going on besides trying to find a job?
I watched a lot of football. I mean, as a fan of football, you can't just, the first few games were tough to stomach because, you're not out there. As a competitor, as a man, you feel like, that's your spot. That's where you're supposed to be. And so that was hard. I'm not going to lie and say it wasn't. But I watched, even invested in NFL package with DirecTV. Even though I had Comcast, I had to go out and get DirecTV. So just so I could catch every game that was possible. Because I'm just a fan of football. Since the time I was 7 years old, I was watching Saturday all the way through until Saturday night, and then waking up Sunday playing my game in Pop Warner, and then watching it all the way through. So yeah, I watched a lot of football. Last year, college, pros, everything.
Can you say you learned anything that you might have thought about in that time?
More so, I was actually watching it as a fan. Instead of, critiquing it, but definitely, I had fun calling out plays that I knew were coming, and they did come, so just, predicting, just from previous, years of playing against either a team or a coordinator, offensive coordinator, knowing their tendencies, so I had some fun calling out some plays, even though my wife and my 1-year-old didn't know what I was talking about,
What kind of expectations do you have for yourself in this Falcon defense?
I've always had, high expectations for myself, but, I don't ever, try to air them out or anything. I'm going to play as high as I possibly can, and, to the best of my ability. And I really, the one expectation is to help make this a better defense, and I think that's, understood from their side and my, from myself. That's kind of an agreement, unspoken, you don't have to talk about it.
Did you grab any Mike Nolan video or stuff he's done in the past?
I haven't, I know, part of, because I know he's very familiar with the 3-4, so I didn't know what to expect as far as, if they were going 4-3-3-4, but from my understanding, we're pretty much staying 4-3. We'll see. I'm sure there's some variations. We just got the playbook today, so I'll take a good look at it tonight.
When you don't play for a year, do you lose anything? Do you expect timing at all to be an issue when you get back out there on the field?
No, as long as, you're mentally sharp, I think that's always, why guys are able to play longer, if they maybe, because in my case, I guess I never had the speed, so, mentally, I've always been there, so I'm not worried about, timing or anything, and I think that's definitely something, just reps, and, what I gotta pick up is the terminology that we're, installing, so some new to the guys that are here, some, is old stuff that, they're gonna help me with, and, so I look forward to it.
How have you played in pass coverage in the past? We had different views on your ability to drop in coverage. How do you feel you play that part of the football game?
I don't think I really stand out in any one aspect, but I think I'm equally adept in everything I do, and I don't know, you can't really, if you're a true competitor, you can't really say you enjoy doing one thing more than the other. Because those areas that you don't excel in, you're supposed to, if you want to compete, you got to, get after it. But, I like it all, blitzing, covering. But, there's a lot of talented linebackers in that room, so, I don't know what the plan is come passing situations, sub packages and third down, if that's what you're asking. But, absolutely, I'd love to play those downs. Those are the plays are made.
What was it like not hitting somebody for a year, and are you looking forward to being able to do that again?
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely probably the toughest part. Not being able to, take your aggression out. Just everyday aggression you get to get out and practice, so going to be a regular civilian, that was kind of tough.
Good, guys?
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks very much.